evolving. As it is evolving, how it is addressing the diversified technologies under a single roof. So what is a 5G vision? What is Internet of Things? Impact of 5G in Internet of Things. How the 3GPP standardization, that is one of the standardization body that is responsible for 4G as well as 5G mobile standards. This body right now focusing its diversified technology coverage for IoT, that is in the form of narrowband IoT or LTE machine to machine in 4G, and this will be also a part of 5G technology. So different types of IoTs as a part of 5G, how it is evolving, so how it is converging, and how it is going to provide various applications and solutions and use cases in this 5G era, and few 5G use cases. So this is my profile already. In the invited speaker gave overview about So first I will give a simple how the mobile wireless technology is evolving. So we have in 1980s we have 1G, as you guys know. This thing is very familiar to one and all gathering here. So 1G is like just a replacement of wired phone by wireless. It is especially for voice. Then 2G, the same thing, but enhanced features of SMRs and other things. Then we have 3G, that is between 2G to 3G we have 2.5G, that is the GPRS technology. That that actually the cutting edge technology which give the communication in terms of packets what we have right now. This is only the provided option for one to many users as a initial innovation technology for all these 3G, 4G or 5G, whatever it is coming up, or in future it may be 6G. Then we have 4G technology. The 4G technology is nothing but LTE, long-term evolution. That is a technology. So 4G we have the 4G standards are evolved under a common standardization platform that is called 3GPP. So 3GPP is responsible for all the different standardizations which is coming under 4G technology. Then we have the 5G, that is a unified one of the future technology. From this slide itself we are able to understand what is going to be 5G. So 5G is not a single technology which is going to cover simply for like wireless communication, or it is especially for only for like industrial automation. This is only for like mission critical applications, like some of the missiles and other very time sensitive applications where communication is required. So this 5G technology is going to be a technology which is a technology under a single room or under a single roof with diversified features, as like India. So we have a unity among diversity. We have different diversities, still we are united under a single nation called India. Similarly, 5G technology is going to be a unified technology with diversified features, which is going to address diversified use cases. to understand 5G, how it is going to be, what actually the 5G vision is. As I told earlier, 5G is a unified technology with diversified requirements, with wide scalability and multi-connectivity. So it addresses like insatiable demand for mobile broadband and unquenchable trust by customers for the multimedia. So this is one part of it. This is like a high bandwidth applications that needs like video streaming, on-demand video streaming type of applications, or AR, VR, virtual reality, augmented reality. Those type of applications will fall under the broadband applications. But 5G is not going to address only the broadband applications. It is going to address, as specified here, the different technologies. Sorry, the different verticals which is available around us. For example, utility management is here. So what is this utility management? So utility management is a power sector. Let us take, we have a power distribution system which comprises of transformers, huge transformers. Then we have distribution systems. Then for switching from one distribution to other distribution, we have so many PLCs, SCADAs, all those things are spread all over the distribution system. You want to control, monitor the entire electrical distribution system. So that is the utility management. So how 5G will support for this? And similarly, in smart cities applications, there are a lot of different applications are coming under smart city, water management, waste management, and different managements of different things. Then different trucks for fleet of trucks that needs to be managed in a smart city for those who are carrying waste or a lot of other things as a part of organization of any of the corporation, like it is a municipality corporation or something, whatever it is, a smart city. So in this case, how a technology, that means how a communication technology can help to accommodate all those different verticals under a single roof. That is the ultimate aim of 5G. That means, for example, very simple. If we take a video applications, it needs gigabits of data streaming between two ends. If it is a multimedia type of applications, there may be multiple users. So streaming video will be one to many. So there the volume of streaming data will be very huge. So otherwise, in the case of a sensor which is integrated in any of the industry environment or any of the application, there is a sensor. We need to check whether it is on or off. So it is going to be a single bit applications where we need to transmit only either it is 0 or 1 or it is on or off. So in that application, we no need the huge data. We no need to allocate a huge data resource for those type of applications. So in order to take care both, the 5G technology will provide option for low data applications as well as high data applications under a single roof. So that is the vision or the main focus or target of 5G technology. In this way, 5G technology is going to give different revenue through different, that means business potentials are available across different countries. That is expected by different organizations, how it is going to be like that. So impact of 5G in Internet of Things. What actually Internet of Things? And how the 5G is going to impact in Internet of Things. So if we take this picture, so we have like three different lobes in this. One, massive Internet of Things, then mission critical control, then enhanced mobile data. So enhanced mobile data, as we are discussing, that is the high data applications where you can use it for deep awareness, or it may be extremely high data rates in terms of gigabits per second, or it is extreme high capacity as it is given 10 Tbps, the terabits of data wherever, whenever is needed. There it is going for the enhanced mobile broadband applications. That is also a part of 5G. And similarly, massive Internet of Things. So what is that massive Internet of Things? Well, here, so Internet of Things is nothing but like different sensors or devices or whatever the things, they are connected to the connected through or controlled through a well established communication network remotely from some other place. So what actually for these type of applications, what is the actual requirement? Like deep coverage, wide coverage, that is needed. That is one of the basic requirement if you want to service in Internet of Things. Then ultra low energy. So why we need low energy here? So whatever the devices which is deployed in the field, we cannot often we cannot charge those, make it available for connection. So battery life should be very high in terms of years. So we need a system, or we need a requirement in such a way that how those devices will consume very low power, that is ultra low power, in such a way the battery life will be more than 10 plus years. Then ultra low complexity. So complexity, if we are able to reduce the complexity of any of the user devices, that means the device will be simple. So ultimately the device the consumption of power of that particular device also will be less. So in those aspects, so we need a handheld device, or we need a equipment, or we need a terminal device which is going to take less complex operations with less power, with low latency, but ultra high density. So density wise, we have huge volume of devices are going to spread all over the physical dimension, all over the, suppose if we take a factory, and for example, if it is a petrochemical factory like CPCL, Chennai Petrochemical Refineries type of factories, there the pressure sensor, if you take a distillation plant, the number of pressure sensor will be in terms of 100 to thousands in a small section of like one unit of one part of that distillation process. So in that case, if you want to totally automate or totally control your entire refinery, so the number of pressure sensor is going to be in terms of hundreds and thousands. In such a case, how the technology, as a technology, it is going to provide solution, or it is going to accommodate those many number of sensors under this technology, because there are so many limitations. Basically, if you see, for example, LTE, if you take LTE, that is 4G mobile technology, if a base station, if you want to support it maximum capacity, with maximum capacity, a base station can support worst case up to 37 users only. So if that is the case, let us take, I have a 360 sensors which is distributed in a petrochemical factory in a small unit. I cannot deploy 10 base stations to cover that particular number of to collect the inputs from 360 pressure sensors. So here in the 5G, so 5G is addressing with a smart technology that can accommodate huge number of devices that is spread over its coverage. Then other one is mission critical applications. What is mission critical applications? So mission critical applications are one where we need strong security. For example, it may be military applications. So military applications, the communication between the two military stations or some similar application is going through, or there is a some like healthcare type of applications where we need very low latency stuff. For example, a live operation, people sitting in some different place, they want to conduct the operation on the patient. So in that case, the latency is very important. So that type of applications are satellite tracking, or these are all like defense and other critical applications where even a fraction of picosecond, millisecond, microsecond, that will make a huge impact. So we need technology that will provide low latency for mission critical applications. That also a part of 5G technology. 3GPP standardization and 5G. So normally 3GPP standards are nothing but it is a standard body for 4G technology initially. 3GPP, third generation partnership project. So under this 3GPP, there are so many different communication companies are contributing their research and their innovations into the technology. So if we take, as we have discussed the previous, there are three different circles are there. There is one is a green circle, that is critical communication. Now one is the dark blue circle, that is a mobile IoT or massive IoT, or it is low power wireless applications. So under this, if you take the different use cases, it may be smart cities, or it may be smart logistics, or it may be smart metering. So all the things will come under this category. Then we have the enhanced mobile broadband applications. So here also, so these two are directly related to like different sensors, actual type of different instrumentation. So in the industries or like production assembly line in any of the manufacturing industries like car manufacturing companies, or like a robo assembling, in those type of applications, these two will be applicable. So this is enhanced mobile broadband application. Also we can come under the different instrumentation technique where you need a surveillance, the video analytics. So in that type of sectors, and based on that, you want to automate some of the instrumentation or any process automation that you want to do with video processing also. In that category, this part of 5G technology also will come into picture. For example, why I am showing here is in 2016, so we have a standard CAT-M. This is like machine to machine communication that was given by 3GPP as a part of its standards. It is LTE-M. So as a part in 5G also, this is also a part. 5G also will address this machine to machine communication or NB-IoT, narrowband IoT. So narrowband IoT and LTE-M. So LTE-M is nothing but machine to machine under 4G mobile technology. So 3GPP standards, standardized low power wide area LPWA technology. So it is based on license spectrum. So we have so if you want to have any automatic control setup through communication, we need some sort of communication between the devices that will, based on that feedback or based on that, we can control the end device. So in that case, there are so many wireless technologies are used. Either it is unlicensed or it is licensed. So in the case of unlicensed, we have Bluetooth, we have Wi-Fi. So we are different standards. So 802.11a, B, G, N, AX, AD. So like that, there are so many unlicensed wireless spectrum bands are available where we can have a wireless technology that will enable the communication between the end device and the controller. That is one part of it. That's the wireless technology. So in the whether that may be through unlicensed spectrum or it may be through licensed spectrum bands. So in the licensed spectrum, we have the different technologies like if it is a legacy technologies, we have 3G, 2G, or 2.5G, and then 4G, then 5G. So it is advanced technology in the sense 4G and 5G. So NB-IoT and LTE-M. So LTE-M is nothing but mobile to mobile. Will fulfill 5G low power wide area requirements because standards are started evolving from release 14, which is addressing NB-IoT and LTE machine to machine under the 3GPP standardization body for which is going to be a part of 5G mobile technology. So low power wide area technology, that is LPWA. So what is the LPWA requirements? It is a low power conception that enables device to operate for many years on a single charge. That's what as I earlier told. This is nothing but a sensor which is going to be distributed geographically in a remote place where the human cannot easily access very frequently, or there is no power option available for that particular end device or end sensor. For example, let us think of there is a mines like NLC thermal NLC mines is there. There is one coal cutting machine is there. That coal cutting machine, we cannot all the time we cannot access that machine. That machine will be somewhere under the ground of something like 100 200 meters down. We don't know exactly what actually that machine will be, but if you want to automatically do some cutting operations wherever the human cannot be deployed, so in those type of devices, or there is you want to monitor the movement of that particular coal cutting machine, so you provided a sensor down under the that much meters down. So in that cases we cannot keep charge of those devices. So we need a device, we need a technology where the power of that particular device will withstand for years together. Then low device unit cost. So ultimately we need a device which cost will be less. So why we need a device which is cost will be less? We don't know. There are let us take we deployed a device. The device tomorrow may work, may not work, or we need to replace the device frequently, or such type of things may happen because these are all very remote applications. So in such cases, the cost should be affordable. Then improved outdoor and indoor coverage compared with the existing wide area technologies. Whether that is the indoor application or it is outdoor application, so it should provide a improved coverage. Then only we will be able to provide whatever the achievement we want to achieve in that particular infrastructure. Otherwise, suppose let us take we made an indoor system through Wi-Fi to operate a car assembly of a factory. If the coverage of that particular technology is good only, the whatever the sensors which is spread over the different geographical location of that particular assembly section will respond properly, or it will come to the control room properly. Then only the whatever the different controllers, either it may be PLC or DSP or what type of controllers you are using to control for that particular assembly section, that will give the response properly, and response will be taken care by the different sensors properly, and that will execute that execution, sensing and execution will go hand to hand properly. Otherwise it may lead to some disaster in the operation of those systems. Then network scalability for capacity upgrade. If you want to increase the capacity, ultimately it should be scalable. Then simplified network topology and deployment. Then optimize data transfer for small intermittent block of data. So these are all some of the low power wide area technologies, which is also a part of 5G technology. So NB-IoT, as I told, NB-IoT and LTE machine to machine is deployed as a part of 5G technology or 5G standards or 5G family. So different types of IoT, once again, which is categorized based on the different criteria. Massive IoT. So massive IoT, from the name itself, we know that the number of sensors, the number of units are going to be huge. Smart meters. Let us take smart meter we are deploying in the house. So that will be more or less equal to population. If each family is having average of 5 people, in the sense, it will be the total population of the country divided by 5. That much smart meters we are going to deploy for simply for EB, household EB applications. If that many sensors, that many smart meters are coming into picture, there is one difficulty here we will face. How we are going to identify different smart meters without any issue. For example, if you take any of the internet infrastructure, we have IP as an address, IP address. We have IPv4. So IPv4 is having a limitation that it cannot go some beyond some number of connections. So now IPv6 is coming into picture. Similarly, we need a smart identity technique like mobile SIM. We need some sort of technique how it can address a massive IoT devices. Then asset management. Once again, asset. So all are assets in different point of view. If it is a truck, for truck owner, it is asset. Somebody wants to monitor a pet, pet is asset for him. If it is a courier tracking, it is asset till it is delivered to the sender to the receiver. Then fleet management. So we have different tracks and how it is managed, where it is going, how it is going, or somebody is doing something in between. Or let us take it is a truck which is carrying some valuable things. Somebody is doing in between, or misusing, or opening the track, or stealing something. In that type of cases, how it can be managed, or truck movement. All like by using GPS and other systems, we can manage those type of fleets. That is a massive. The volume is very high. Then broadband IoT. So broadband IoT is a virtual, and AR VR is nothing but virtual and augmented reality. So a lot of applications are emerging out of this AR and VR. Even assembly, or let us take inspection, assembly inspection. If you have an aircraft, whether it is there is an inspection for the aircraft, for engines, all those things. Nowadays there are so many applications are coming emerging out of artificial augmented reality and virtual reality. Then drones. So these are all the broadband IoT applications. Then critical IoT. So critical IoT is like a traffic safety control, or a smart grid automation. So these are all like a critical control. Then we have the industrial automation IoT, like different robots, or like car assembly, or different automation through robots, or those type of applications. So here these are all the features are needed, like ultra reliability, ultra latency, high low latency, so very high availability. These are all needed in critical IoT. So these are all the different IoTs. All the things are now as a part of 5G technology. As I told, massive IoT connectivity targets huge volume of low complexity devices which will send and receive messages or which will transact all those things. It should be cost effective, low cost sensors, meters, wearables. Wearables in the sense we have watches or different wearable devices through which they can be controlled, or any sensors which is fitted to any of the pets or whatever the case it is. So as I told, the NR is nothing but for the 5G new radio, that is 5G mobile technology. So 5G mobile technology supports like the massive IoT applications. Then critical IoT. This is a low frequency band with paired spectrum. So NR offers frequency division duplex (FDD) to achieve extremely low latencies. So we have two different technologies, duplexing technologies, FDD and TDD, that was supported by 4G LTE. So 5G NR, for especially for IoT applications, it is having the FDD frequency division duplex to provide service or enable the infrastructure for IoT applications. Then millimeter wave bands. So IoT supports millimeter wave bands also. So millimeter wave bands, it will be short band, but we can accommodate huge number of users. So critical IoT applications with respect to bands nowadays. The local area use cases, like that means a 5G local area inside the industry for their own monitoring, assembling, or robo assembling, whatever the case it is. It is a local area use case, local area inside their applications. There are wide area use cases where trucks will go here and there. If you want to monitor a fleet management, we cannot do it in a local. So if you want to monitor a local, if you want to monitor a robot in a company, in a factory, in their assembly, how it is doing or properly how it is going, all the things will be taken care by local area applications. So different bands that will support. So if we take local, so it will be 1 gigahertz or it may be 24 gigahertz. So if it is like wide, it is 1 gigahertz or it is sub 6 gigahertz. So it depends. So these are all the features that will be offered in that particular technology. Then industrial automation. So industrial IoT. So industrial IoT also, it is a part of 5G technologies nowadays. There are so many different standards are evolving under 5G, which will be addressed industrial automation also, like control system for railways or power generation and distribution system. For that also standards are evolving, technology is evolving, different companies are proposing their innovations, how these type of power generation and distribution can be accommodated with appropriate communication technology under 5G. So these are all some of the recent trends, how the 5G technology is offering a proper control system or proper communication system to control properly. So industrial IoT requirements. So if we need a industrial IoT, and we need to control the industrial environment for different sensors or whatever the different devices or whatever the different manufacturing machines this is geographically located inside the factory. So we need some set of technology and some set of systems. For example, 5G radio systems, what it will provide and how it will provide. So we need a 5G radio system where we can get very low latency. Similarly, we need a 5G system where we will get a high bandwidth. So TSN is nothing but time sensitive network. So we need a common protocol or common system or common way how those devices are connected through like a simple way of connecting through Ethernet or some similar type of thing that is given by time sensitive network. Then QoS, quality of service. So quality of service, how the radio system's quality is served. So quality of service means what? Let us take, there are chances where you may get like that particular device is not reachable. If it is a wireless technology, there are certain possibilities where there is a situation will come like that particular device is not reachable. It is already in use. Such type of call drops. So what is the probability of call drops and how efficiently without drop we are able to provide support? That is a QoS accomplishment which is provided by the radio system. Then positioning, then spectrum flexibility. Then in terms of 5G system, network slicing, so what are all the different authentication methods are there? So all authentication system methods cannot be affordable or cannot be applicable for industrial systems. So similarly security. So if the normal communication system and if you want to communicate the same infrastructure to a device, we should not give an option for unauthorized person or unauthorized infrastructure to connect to that particular machine or particular system and do something which is not needed or which is not advised to do in that particular infrastructure. Something like hacking or misusing, misplacing or damaging that particular infrastructure. So security is also a major part in terms of machine to machine communication especially. For example, let us take we we have a mobile, we want to call to our mom, we are calling, we understand whether mom is speaking or somebody else is speaking. So at least we will see, I called to my mom or it went to some other person, unknown person, we will cut the call. Other case, a machine is trying to establish a connection to other machine. So how a machine will identify whatever the machine it is connected is the right machine or it is something else. So all the things needs to be executed very carefully, very easily, at the same time very secure way. So security systems are also needed in the case of 5G system as we are trying to access these type of applications like remote accessing of any of the sensors or devices or manufacturing units. So here OFDMA. So what is this OFDMA? So OFDMA is a multiple access technology that will give the very good bandwidth OFDM. So OFDM is like a multiple access technology where we can get a huge bandwidth or huge data that is offered by any of the 4G technology that is due to OFDM only. So what is OFDMA? So OFDMA we are using for multiple access. So how so many different users we can accommodate under this OFDMA technology. OFDMA technology is by OFDMA. That's what. So that's what it is given here. So controlling the data rate and error by means of OFDM technology. That means OFDM is for high, still it is a technology which is for huge data volume. We are trying to accommodate huge number of users under this OFDMA technology. The next one is NOMA. So NOMA is nothing but non-orthogonal multiple access. So otherwise they will call it as RSMA, resource spread multiple access. So what is the key use of this technology? It is a key multiplexing techniques where several users are multiplexed over the same frequency and time resource. What actually we are going to get out of it? So the same users, if we are able to connect at the same frequency at the same time, ultimately we may be able to connect huge number of devices at the same time with the same frequency and same time. So that is nothing but the NOMA. So NOMA will address or NOMA will give a option how we can connect massive devices which is spread geographically. So that may not be This may not be like suitable technology for mobile, but this will be more suitable technology for IoT applications, where you have numerous sensors or devices or we want to connect under this NOMA. So NOMA is also a part of 5G technology. So NOMA is also recommended as a specification part of 5G technology, where NOMA can give massive connectivity. So massive connectivity is one important segment of 5G mobile technology. So NOMA will give that option. So NOMA is also a part of 5G mobile technology. So NOMA can enable low latency, and it is a grant-free transmission. So that is needed. If you take any for like 4G technology, if you want to send a packet from one source to one other destination, you need to get a grant. That means, let us take, you want to go from one place to other place, you need to get approval from somebody else, like you can go in that particular time with that particular volume of whatever the content you want to transport in that particular truck, like a pre-approved volume you can transport in that particular road. Similar way, without grant we cannot send anything in the existing communication system. So we need a technology where it is a grant-free transmission. That means it will be high latency. Sorry, latency will be less to communicate from one device to other device. Then industrial, in the industrial IoT, so we have a network which is built using combinations of massive, broadband, critical. We need a different three segments, no? So industrial IoT will cover all the three segments under a single roof to serve its applications under this 5G mobile technology. Then, so in the case of cyber physical control applications like process automation or field bus or industrial Ethernet components. So in the industries, all cannot be in the wireless connection between the sensor to the particular controller. It may be PLC or it may be any controller or any supercomputer which is sitting inside a factory or manufacturing unit. That all the time we cannot be able to connect only through wireless technologies like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or any different wireless technology with unlicensed spectrum. We are in need of some field bus or industrial Ethernet connection. Through cable connection also we need. So that is also addressed by 3GPP in their future releases. So here one more very important key feature that is addressed in 5G mobile technology as a part of industrial IoT automation enhancement, which is offered by 5G mobile technology. That is TSN. So what is TSN? TSN is a time sensitive networking and industrial control system typically use Ethernet based transport. This is like wired technology in wired infrastructure that is available, that is established under 5G technology to control the so many physical devices which is spread geographically over a factory or manufacturing unit or assembly unit or in a refineries, whatever the nature of factory it is. So merging the 5G, so 5G is like a wireless and wired communication system we can consider here, and industrial domains. Therefore, we need a NR natively supports Ethernet rather than relying on encapsulation and gateway protocol translation method to overcome any determination in the performance. So 5G NR and industrial automation. So if you want to really take the 5G NR, so 5G NR standards are defined and established by a standardization body called 3GPP. So 3GPP is having so many releases, like release 8 is for basic LTE 4G mobile technology. If we take release 15, it will be advanced 4G mobile technology. If we take release 16, that is a 5G technology. So now the release 17 is going to be on the way. They are releasing the release 17, release 18, like that. They have the roadmap of different specifications will be released by 3GPP as a standard. So release 16 addresses TSN, time sensitive networking, how the integration can be done between the systems or between the machines or between the different devices which is available in industry or factory under this TSN. That is a time sensitive networking, like it is a protocol. The project includes the system components such as synchronizing the precise time using the generalized precision timing protocol, GPTP. So this is the communication protocol. So if you want to connect, if you want to establish a connection or communication service between two different systems, we have different protocols like UDP. There is no acknowledgement for UDP. Then we have TCP where we have acknowledgement. Then we have SMTP, HTTP. So we have different protocols in place. So similarly, in the industrial infrastructure, we cannot use the similar infrastructure in the industry, maybe because we need a time sensitive applications where the timing is very precise. We need to do it very fast. The synchronization we need it very fast. So in that case, there is a protocol GPTP is proposed for industrial automation through 5G in the case of release 16. Then TSN configuration into 5G quality of service. So quality of service already I have given what actually quality of service, how we are getting out of it. So here the 5G NR and industrial IoT with the TSN. If we take this slide, it will bring you insight how the 5G NR is going to converge or it is going to interact with a machine which is available in a factory or a sensor in wherever you want to have established a system where you want to control or communicate or in their assembly. So here you have a TSN network controller. This is a 5G network. So GNB, that is nothing but G0B. G0B means this is a base station. Okay, this is a 5G network. This is a 5G base station. This is a UE. UE is nothing but your user terminal, mobile. If you take a simple example, it is a mobile or handheld terminal, or it may be any similar device where you have the handheld device similar to, or it may be fixed device or mobile device. It is up to the type of device. Then we have the 5G core network. So core network will have the different entities, the user plane and control plane. User plane is for data, control plane is for control messages. So for initial authentication, authorization, then security messages, then periodically checking or paging messages, all those things will come under control plane. Then we have a TSN network controller and we have a TSN device. So this is a set of standard specified by IEEE 802. So 802, we have different standards for Ethernet. So this is a Ethernet standard. That means it is not a wireless standard. It is a wireless standard proposed under 5G mobile technology or under 5G technology. So to control devices or robots or any assembly machines through Ethernet establishment with a protocol of GPTP. So this is the basic infrastructure. Wherever you want to control a factory of factory which is having so many robots or the assembly section where you are having so many machines that needs to be automatically controlled with 5G means we have to use this type of similar network establishment in that particular factory or manufacturing plant. So if you want to go in detail, so how the different communications are taking place, how actually the different devices are connected. So industrial automation with 5G and TSN. So if we take in this slide, you see this is a 5G core network. This is a 5G core network. So in the 5G core network, we have this is a like network part. This is the radio access network. So the radio access network is nothing but you are having the different base stations, and we have machines. So machine one, machine two is something else. Machine two is a robo, or machine. This is some different machines we have. This is a machine one. So if we take this, you see this is, if we take here, this is a cloud where we have the cloud infrastructure, which is where the controller may be present, or any of the, because now all like processing devices are sitting in the cloud only, or if it is a PC, instead of physical servers, nowadays all having the servers in the cloud. So like PLC that is sitting in the cloud, or it may be your own cloud, or it may be like a third party cloud also. If it is take a PCs, it may be like Amazon or Google or Oracle cloud, or you may have your own internal cloud also. So here it is like a PLC. You have all the things, either it may be in cloud or it may be on premise. Then this is a TSN backbone. Then we have our 5G mobile network. This is nothing but the enhanced. So whatever the architecture explained here, the same thing with the different field machines, how it is connected through 5G technology, and what all the different things are there in this particular system. Okay. Five G architecture for IoT users, an essential criteria, and user authentication. So user needs to be authenticated, as I told. In communication, 4G also we have a user authentication, and similarly in 5G also we have a user authentication. If it is a ordinary mobile, or if it is a end device like sensors or any robots which is connected there, how the authentication will be carried out. So what are all the different criteria that is needed for a IoT device? As we are discussing, this is once again I am repeating. Low power consumption is needed for any of the IoT device. So wide coverage is needed. Low cost is one of the ultimate requirement for any of the IoT devices. Here, so one simple technique is given here. So low power consumption, how we can enable with the device. For example, if you take a sensors which is available in any of the mines, all the time there is no like active communication will be take place from that particular server to that particular sensor, or that particular sensor won't send very frequently the parameters from that particular field. So in that case, very that means the duration, the gap between one parameter which is sent to the system to the next parameter it will send, that will be very large. So during the time where it is not involved in sending any of the parameters, or where it is ideal or when it is ideal, that system should automatically go to the idle mode, and it needs to save power. So such type of intelligent power saving mechanisms should be there in the particular user terminal. Those type of recommendations, those type of technology provisions are already there in 5G mobile technology through like enhanced DRX. discontinuous reception. Whenever there is a discontinuous reception, how that particular end device will react when there is no communication from the network to that particular end device. So this architecture will show you what are the following steps are involved while a particular UE or the user terminal or a particular end sensor when it is connected in a 5G network, how it is authenticated, how the communication is established between the network to that particular device. So this is a base station, this is a terminal device, and this is a network. What are all the different basic processes are there? Like how it is requesting the base station to authenticate that particular user, how the network is authenticating that particular user, what are all the key sharing is done between the particular user and the network, and how it is allowing the particular correct user into the network. So Internet of Things requirements, so supported by 5G mobile technology. If you take some of the use cases here, so this is like a agriculture farm. So here we have here we have the different use cases. Okay. So this is agriculture farm. So if it is agriculture farm, what is the different specifications are needed? That's what I'm trying to show here. So real-time latency, if you want to use for application in the agriculture purpose, the real-time capability of latency is 5 millisecond, end to end, E to E, end to end. That was offered by 5G mobile technology. So the 5G mobile technology is not only for mobile communication, but also for different IoT and other application also we can use. That's what I am trying to convey here. Okay, this is a valet parking. So if you use the technology for valet parking, so what is the different radio specifications are needed to establish a communication? Okay, that's what I am trying to show here. So 5 millisecond. So 5 millisecond end to end. So this is a reliability expected if you want to use any wireless technology that is suitable for valet parking, automatic valet parking. This is automatic valet parking. So this latency, this coverage cannot be provided by a technology like Bluetooth or a technology like Wi-Fi. That cannot be provided by those communication technologies, but still it will be provided by 5G mobile technology. So this is automatic valet parking, car parking, or any two-wheeler parking or car parking type of setup. So 5G is built to address those applications, those use cases as a part of its specifications. Okay, these are different use cases where you have entire city where it is like a smart city type of applications where we can use. So these are different use cases. As I told, 5G is having three different verticals of applications, like mobile broadband. This is mission critical. This is ultra low reliable latency, low latency application. These are all the different applications. It is utility means low latency. So if it is a smart metering means it is massive, so many devices, waste monitoring, then asset tracking. These are all the different use cases fall under this mission type communication. So this is like factory processing automation where the latency is more important. Then critical control applications where it can be used in mines or it can be used in manufacturing industries or healthcare. How the 5G will address all those type of applications under the mission critical scenarios. So these other use case where smart vehicles, transports and infrastructure, like connected cars, car to car, machine to machine, similar to that car to car or vehicle to infrastructure. Similar lot of different use cases are there for all those use cases. Standards specified. So what is the setup needed? How the communication is? What type of multiple access schemes are used, and how the battery saving mechanisms are provided. So all those things are addressed in 5G mobile technology. So in short, so what I want to give as a nutshell here is 5G technology is a technology where it is not only used for broadband applications, it is also used for mission critical, low latency, as well as the massive devices of millions of sensors or devices which is spread over geographically located over the different locations that can also be addressed and communicated and can also be provided service through 5G mobile technology. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, if you have any queries, you can contact. If you want to ask any query, you can now ask. If there are no queries, I want to conclude the session. On behalf of Department of EAE SRM Valiama Engineering College, we express our sincere gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Kalyana Sundaram, Director R&D SEI Technology Private Limited, Chennai. The presentation was informative, and in your presentation, you have explained about types of IoT, application areas, how 5G technology improves the ability of IoT, parts of 5G, and how 5G technology impacts the IoT and instrumentation and automation. I hope the knowledge gained here in this session will benefit for our students. And once again, thank you for this presentation. And I thank all the participants, faculty members, and head of the Department of EAE for this guest lecture and for your support. I sincerely thank all the participants who have joined for this guest lecture. Thank you all. Thank you, Kalyan. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I would like to thank the management and the professor who is trying to coordinated me to have a guest lecture in your campus. It is really I would like to thank the management, the HODs, and the professors, those who are trying to have a guest lecture as me as a resource person in your premier institute. Thank you once again, professors and students. The students, I would like to thank the students. 5G is like an emerging field where you can get a lot of opportunities in terms of job and knowledge, and as well as innovation, as well as your future career. So you guys can focus in the emerging technologies and get maximum benefit out of it. So actually, I have failed to intimate a few things in the slide. I focused 100% on technical things. I like to take few minutes if Ganesh, if you don't mind, I will take a few minutes. Is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah, as innovation, if you take India as concern, we are very lack in terms of innovation. That means, for example, I will give statistics. If you take America, so what is the patents filing in a day? Similarly, if you take India, what is the number of patents which is filed in India? If you take that statistics, it will be very meager in India compared to whatever the number of patents which is filed in US. That means we are not innovative. That's not the case. So we don't have like exposure. We are not exposed how to like record or how to make it clearly certify our innovations or whatever the case it is. And at the same time, we are also not exposed in such a way that the patents are giving money for scientists and engineers. But in US, they are earning money in terms of royalty once they file a patent. If somebody is trying to use their innovation, automatically they are getting money out of it. At the same time, their innovation is protected. They are earning money out of the innovation. Similarly, I request our young engineers, young buds, those who are really interested in technology, really keep it in your mind as your life goal. I will make a patent within a year or two. You take this as a one of the like request from me as a part of because I used to attend a lot of international meetings. If I see their profile, we will be able to see a lot of patents in their profile. 13, 14, 15, 20 patents. If it take us, we may not have the chance to even file a patent. You can ask me, sir, you have any patent? So I don't have any patent right now because I am working in a company. Whatever my innovation will come under my company only. So this is a humble request for engineers, young students, student friends, try to make any innovation in the form of patent and enhance your research in such a way that you will be like if you file a patent, you don't need to tell I invented this. Automatically that invention will take care. So this is one of my humble requests for all young engineers. Thank you.